Greetings and welcome to Monday Mantra. If you have not seen Monday Mantra before, it is my weekly rant where I go over all sorts of tips and techniques for the entrepreneur with a heavy dose of real estate. In this week's episode, I'm going to be going over my top tips of how to stay relevant and at the top of your game. And that's coming up right after this. Greetings, and thrice greetings. Yes, it is Monday morning, so it is Monday Mantra. The last little bit of my cough remaining, but I have won the battle. Anyway, this week it's a wonderful subject. And it's a subject that I'm kind of obsessed with, which is how to stay relevant and at the top of your game. And I'm going to go over a whole series of my thoughts of exactly how to do that. Being relevant is something, in my opinion, that takes daily work. It's very, very kind of... It's very familiar to want to do the same thing over and over and over again, which of course that does work in some respects, but the evolution of who we are professionally must ever so slightly incrementally change, I believe, more or less on a daily basis, because if it doesn't, this is what tends to happen. We tend to kind of just drift without us even knowing it. And so I'm going to go over some tips forgive me, that I have been deploying for the past several years that will hopefully keep you relevant and will also keep you at the top of your game. Now, I'm a very big believer in this first one, which is know your craft, but not just how to sit in front of sellers and buyers and pontificate. Know every aspect of your craft. I remember once watching a Tony Hawk video, and somebody asked him, what was the best tip that he could ever give to someone that was aspiring to become a professional athlete like him? And he said, know every aspect of your game. I couldn't agree with that more. Case in point is this. Yes, of course I know about stats and comps and houses and all of the stuff that's in real estate. real estate, excuse me. But I also stay on top of my game with what's going on with social, what's going on with marketing techniques. If I felt wearing a chicken suit standing at the side of the road would get more sales, I would be advising that for all of my people. But my belief structure is that this is our medium. It's the one that we can control. And that is something that I'm incredibly passionate about, which is controlling, excuse me, navigating our destiny, our professional destiny. You know this about me. You've heard me say it a million times. Handing over our imprint to other people to do it, handing over our marketing, our footprint, our digital identity to someone else fills me with absolute terror. And I know it's an effort. I know it takes work. But this is why number one is I advise you to learn every aspect of your business. Learn how to edit video, learn how to shoot a camera, learn your scripts and dialogues if scripts and dialogues is your thing. Learn your numbers, learn everything you can possibly learn. One thing is for sure, you can never learn too much. And why is this? Because then if there is a shift in the industry and you're kind of left flapping with maybe at your company, the marketing department shuts down or comes up with flavors that you hate, then you're kind of done. You're at the mercy of other people. And that, in my opinion, is just not a good place to be. Number two is this. I live and breathe by this. In your professional life, act. Don't react. What that means is, it means you've got to be able to predict what's coming. Your clients are counting on you to be able to predict what is coming down the pike. Any old person can just sit and react to the market. Oh, rates went up. Oh, rates went down. But if you can predict and be bold and make those statements to your client base, you might not be right all the time, but people don't want a passive professional. a lot of P's in that sentence. People don't want a passive professional to just kind of be a glorified Uber driver. Not that there's anything wrong with Uber drivers, but you get what I'm saying. People want our expertise. People want our value add. What is our value add that separates us from everyone else? And I believe acting and predicting and knowing what's going to happen separates you from, in my opinion, 90%, maybe even 95% of all real estate agents and frankly any other profession that's watching this. I want to now talk about taking control of marketing, right? If you are a small business, which by definition all of us in real estate are, even if you're at a massive company, which I think, well, you know my thoughts on that. But if you are not spending money online, and I don't just mean having somebody push out your pre-templated videos and photographs and all of that stuff, if you are not spending money online, carving out your digital identity, I believe it is a question of time before you become irrelevant. This is a mantra on how to stay relevant. This is number one. Staying on top of your game means staying on top of the elephant in the room, which is how to market to the people you meet. I'm not saying you should shut yourself away in an office or a room like this and just make endless videos. I don't just make endless videos. It might seem like that, but I use them so that I can then get in front of people and have that translate into business. But radio ads are too much. TV ads are too much. Postcards and newspapers are boring as hell and don't work unless you invest $1 trillion into it. But this medium right here that you can control is not only the most cost effective, you can see who's watching and then you can move towards the light so that your campaigns generate more and more business. But it isn't just digital. All digital is a hook to get in front of people. So if you're not spending money on social media and marketing yourself, friends, I think it is just a question of time before you get lapped and become irrelevant. Next tip. This is more of a traditional one, which is this. What I like to do every year, why do you think I keep doing so much social media? What I like to do every year is I write down where all of my business has come from. Not just closed transactions though. I write down where I got bites and I ask people how they found me. How was I referred? What was the decision maker? And I write down all of these notes because when I get referred to someone, no doubt they're interviewing other people, but then when I get the job, I ask why. More often than not, people will say there was an awful lot online. I could find out about you, so I felt like I knew you before you rolled up. I'm going to say that sentence again because it's massively, massively, massively powerful. When I'm going up against other people, I have had agents say to me, and I have had clients say to me that it is a game changer that there has been so much content online about me before I get to their door, so they feel like they know me. Now, I'm not just putting out junk that's talking about houses and kitchens and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm putting out stuff that I believe is really, really super relevant, good stuff. Let me grab my phone because this went off. Need to look at my notes, ladies and gentlemen. Need to look at my notes. Okay. So next up on the list is I want to go over this is probably the most important fundamental cornerstone of everything and anything I do. Some of you might have already guessed this, but this is how I stay relevant and this is how I stay on top of my game. And the secret, ladies and gentlemen, is because I give it all away. I give away information freely in the hopes that some people will find it relevant. I never have the mindset of where's mine, what am I going to get? I don't want to give this away unless I know I'm going to get this. I just give away as much information as I possibly can in the hopes that I'm genuinely going to help someone. There is this kind of crazy notion that the universe, in my head at least, that the universe, I mean, this is an old theory. This is karma. Not only is it karma, it's the right thing to do. And I'm going to touch upon why at the end. Giving stuff away, helping someone, paying it forward, whatever the buzz phrase is, not only does it work, my God, it works better than anything you could imagine. But on top of that, it's the right thing to do. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I have a happier life. Also, remember I say that we give without expectations. So I'm not invested in controlling the result. I'm optimistic and I'm hopeful and I've got goals and ambitions, but I'm not just like, I need to make this my way or I will just explode. That's not the way I want to live. I live a healthier, more productive life by giving away to anyone who'll listen little nuggets in the hopes that they will then pass it on to the new guy. This, ladies and gentlemen, has probably been the biggest game changer in my entire career. When I first started doing it, I had moments of, well, I'm giving away everything to the competition, so they're just going to use it against me. I had a coach who was awesome, and he said to me, Pete, nobody will ever do what you do like you do, so never fear that someone can change it, which is why I'm all about the value add. I'm all about the individuality. I'm all about you being the product. I'm all about you owning who you are and what you're about and not just vanillaizing it and handing it off to someone else. Ladies and gentlemen, it takes an awful lot of time and effort and work to constantly keep doing this stuff. But it has been the biggest game changer in my life. It can be video, it can be written word, it can be audio. Whatever it is, you need to absolutely do it. But moreover, even if you don't, just give away the knowledge that you have got over the years. Because this, I'm going to end with this. It is my fundamental belief that knowledge is never owned, it's borrowed. And it is our duty as citizens of this planet to pass it on. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is another Monday Mantra over for today. Thank you very, very much for joining me. I am privileged and honored to be of service to you. If anybody's got any thoughts, any questions, feel free to leave comments and whatever you want. And I will look forward to seeing you all again on another Monday Mantra, same time, same place, next week. Until then, this is Pete Lorimer, out.